This podcast is rated S for spoilers. This is Sherlock Tavia, and this is my sister. We're here to do a podcast on the 2018 Netflix cartoon She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. We're just going to give some of our thoughts and opinions. Now, before we start off, we're going to be going into major spoiler territory for seasons 1, 2 through 3, and are going to be discussing all the big reveals, so don't watch this if you haven't seen the show yet. She-Ra, Princess of Power was originally produced in 1985 by Filmation, a spin-off of Filmation's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe series. She-Ra was aimed primarily at a young female audience to complement He-Man's popularity with young males. Unlike the He-Man cartoon, which was based on the Masters of the Universe toy line by Mattel, the creation of She-Ra was a collaboration between Filmation and Mattel. The initial group of characters and premise were created by uncredited writers Larry DiTilio and J. Michael Straczynski from Filmation, while the characters introduced later were designed by Mattel. Mattel provided financial backing for the series as well as an accompanying toy line. The series premiered in 1985 and was canceled in 1986 after 2 seasons and 93 episodes. The 2018 series She-Ra and the Princesses of Power is an American animated web television series developed by Noel Stevenson and produced by Dreamworks Animation Television. It premiered on November 13th, 2018 on Netflix. The 3rd season was released on August 2nd, 2019. Like the 1985 Filmation series She-Ra, of which this series is a reboot, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power tells the tale of the teenager Adora's rebellion against the evil Hordak and his horde. As the heroine She-Ra, Adora leads a group of other magical princesses in an alliance to defeat Hordak. Now, I didn't really grow up on the Masters of the Universe, He-Man, or She-Ra, so I don't have any nostalgia for the older cartoon. I mean, I know who He-Man and Skeletor are, and that's about it, so I went into She-Ra flying blind without much in the way of preconceived notions. Alright, first question. What were your general thoughts on the series as a whole?
It was pretty good. Starts out kind of like any other kids show, and you're kind of like, I know where this is going. But then it doesn't. It goes different places, and you're like, "What? That's crazy! I can't believe they did that." And so it's fun. It's a fun film or TV show for the whole family. Something for everyone.
Well, to me, a lot of people say this series borrows a lot from Avatar, The Last Airbender, Nickelodeon's series, and I can kind of see that. It does seem to borrow heavily from Avatar with the animation style, even some of the story and characterizations, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Starts out fairly basic, I guess you could say a fairly average children's show. They're going around recruiting princesses to fight against the horde, but it gradually gets more complicated as it goes along. There's a lot more character development and some plot twists that you usually don't necessarily see.
It's like if Avatar and My Little Pony had a baby, it would be She-Ra.
Okay, now who was your favorite character?
You're not going to say anything about my analogy of Avatar and My Little Pony having a baby?
No.
Oh, okay then. My favorite character... There's so many good characters to choose from. There are a lot of good bad guys in this series, and you almost like them more than the good guys. But as far as favorite character, probably Entrapta. She's one of the princesses that they try to recruit. But she's kind of different in that she's not all, ooh, look at my cool little sparkly powers. They're so awesome. She's a woman of science and mystery, and I think that's really cool. I mean, the She-Ra is pretty great herself, also known as Adora. They change back and forth, and her little friend squad there, Bo and Glitter. Kyle is also cool. He's a bad guy as well, but he messes everything up. So some humor throughout the series. Who's your favorite character, Octi?
I'm gonna have to go with Entrapta 2. She's pretty cool, pretty adorable. I mean, she technically ends up working for the villains, the Horde, going into spoiler territory there, but she's still a fun person. As a matter of fact, I'd say all the villains are fun. Like, I like Hordak and Scorpio and Catra. I'd say grouped together, those are all my favorites. I like the villains a lot better than the heroes in this show. They're a lot of fun and enjoyable. Even get some pretty decent character development.
Why do you think you like the villains so much as opposed to the heroes?
Because they're a lot more fun than the heroes, and like, I just think Trappa, Scorpio, and Catra are cuter than, say, Adora and Glimmer and all of them. I mean, they're not, the good guys aren't bad characters. I just like the villains more.
I understand. I feel the same way, which is weird because usually I hate the villains and like they all need to die. But then it's like, no, they're pretty cool in the series.
I mean, they also make almost every villain in this series, even the ones like even Hordak, who's supposed to be super evil, gets a sympathetic moment. So I pretty much try to give every single character their own, sympathetic or background moment. Now,
Let me stop you there. That's true. I mean, Hordak is dripping with evil when we first meet him, but then you feel kind of bad for him. But Catra, you kind of feel bad for her at the beginning, but towards the end, you just like, I hate her. She's pure evil, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to bring that back down to care about her, but we'll see.
I still like Catra. I mean, I feel like, there's a lot of pain and mental instability underneath that. And, if they get rid of Catra, Scorpio's going to be super depressed. So, how going to pull that off?
We'll see.
I mean, honestly, they haven't definitively killed any characters off yet. I mean, even Glimmer's parents, again, spoiler territory, they pretty much created a loophole to bring them back.
Do we have to say spoiler before any time we say a spoiler? Don't they already know there's spoilers from the intro?
Yes, but I'm going to anyways. Now, next question. Who is your least favorite character?
Okay. As much as I like the bad guys in this series, for some reason I hate Shadow Weaver, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because she's just such a jerk to Catra at the beginning. I just like, okay, she's the jerk. She's the one I hate. Even when she gets like demoted and pretty much banished, I still like, well, she deserves it. She obviously picks people she likes and then hates everyone else. Even, spoiler alert, when she's talking to Glimmer and they have to go back to Hordak's evil horde, the other princesses are like, oh, we can help. And she's like, no, screw you guys. I just need Glimmer. It's like, okay, well, whatever. So I don't know. Maybe in future seasons I'll feel something, but right now, no, I hate her.
Well, I didn't like Shadow Weaver first at all because she seemed so abusive and power hungry, but I did feel a little bit bad for her when she lost all of her power and, was basically pretty much dying, and she was basically so pathetic. She went to work for the heroes, the Alliance.
But then she's still mean and playing favorites. Like she thinks she has power. Maybe she does. Maybe she's not as powerless as we think. It could all be an act to try to get She-Ra / Adora back.
Well, I guess if I had to pick a least favorite character, I mean, it'd be some of the supporting horde, actually, because I don't think they get enough script. Well, they're not really developed at all. We don't get any sort of characterization for, I think it's Lonnie and Norwin, the other two who hang around Kyle. I think Kyle only gets like one in-depth scene where he's talking to Bo in that one episode where Bo's being held prisoner. But yeah, pretty much they don't get any.
Okay. That is the point. They're just fun background characters who are just there for comic relief, or so they won't be weird that the horde only has 2 people. They do what they're supposed to do. Don't be dissing on Kyle, okay? Don't be dissing on Kyle.
Kyle is one of those people I'm more about like he would like snap. He's gonna snap worse than Catra and try to kill everybody.
That's probably gonna be season 4, okay? He's gonna have Kyle. Mark my words. Kyle is gonna have a huge episode in season 4. Him and Seahawk, who's like the good guy equivalent of Kyle. Their day is coming. It's coming.
All right, next question. What is your favorite episode?
Again, another hard choice as there's so many good episodes. It's probably, spoiler alert, where Entrapta and Hordak are doing all the science, and then she finds out he's like a cyborg thing and gives him an upgrade, and they like fall in love, and she tells him he doesn't have to be perfect, and it's just adorable. It was episode 22 in season 2 called Huntra. It's a solid episode, and I think you get a lot of feelings for Hordak. You're like, oh, he's just a crazed evil person, which is kind of cool because he's so into it. But there's even more to him, and there's more to Entrapta. You see how when she was abandoned by Adora, that really hurt her, and she's like, she was supposed to be my friend, but obviously not. Evil bad guys are more friendly than she is. And that was unexpected, so it works, and that's probably my favorite one. I know you're gonna make fun of me for this, but I also like the one where they're like making fun of Dungeons and Dragons, and they're like doing a battle strategy, and it's season 17. Roll with it. I mean, episode 17, excuse me. Roll with it, and they all have their little character pieces, and the little bow one keeps dying in all their scenarios, and you get to see different versions of Catra as the characters imagine it, and they're all coming up with crazy stuff. Like Mermaidia is like, oh, I'm gonna turn into like She-Ra, and I'll have slightly cooler shoes and a big tidal wave, and I'll come crashing. It's just funny. I just think it's funny, and that's why I like it.
Okay, well, my favorite episode was in season 3, episode 24, Moment of Truth, where like basically Catcher has complete mental breakdown and opens up a reality-destroying portal, even though she was repeatedly warned not to. I think that's when the plot really got really serious and everything came together for me, and it made me really look forward to season 4.
Wait, you like that one better than the Entrapta Hordak episode?
Okay, that might have been my favorite moment of the series, but an episode as a whole, it was a moment of truth.
I don't know. I think in that last one, Catra is just too crazy. It gets a little too weird. They do bring it back and make me kind of look forward to the next season, but I don't know. It's a little much.
All right, next question. What was your least favorite episode?
I don't know. Maybe the first one. Not that it was bad, but it's just like, oh, this is the Sword Part 1, Season 1, Episode 1, spoiler alert. It's just like, oh, this is, I've seen this before. This is kind of like Captain Marvel. She's fighting for the bad guys, but she thinks they're good guys, and then she meets the good guys, and she's like, oh no. And then they're going to go recruit princesses. Yeah. Yay!
Well, I gotta say, in contrast to what you said, my least favorite episode was Roll With It, because I thought it was basically filler and just an excuse to add a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons jokes. It didn't develop anybody's character. It didn't advance the plot.
We see Kyle in that episode, and I think he may even have a line. So how can you say it doesn't develop anyone's character?
He had one line as opposed to the 5 lines he had when he was talking to Bo.
He's not a man of many words. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, dissing on Kyle here.
Just, I don't like goofy filler episodes, especially in a series that's supposed to have like a streamlined plot.
I'm sorry, everything can't be serious all the time for you.
All right, next questions. What did you think of the, LGBT themes and gay representation, since that's sort of an issue of contention with this series?
Well, they're kind of subtle for the most part. I mean, if you're older, you can definitely read into it a lot and be like, Scorpio likes Catra. Except for the one episode, we see Bo has 2 dads, which is kind of contrasting to the rest of the episode. And so I don't really know where they're going with that, like why they made it so kind of subtle. And then they're like, oh well, we need to make this obvious. Let's give Bo 2 dads. And I felt that, I don't know, that was kind of out of place with the rest of the series. I assume we'll see them again in the future, so maybe they'll weave that back in somehow. I don't really know. I guess we'll just have to see where they take this.
Okay, well, I'm a Christian, so I wouldn't say I support the LGBT movement, but as far as the representation in the show, I don't think it's too distracting, I suppose. So going back to Bo's parents, he has 2 dads, George and Lance. Now, this creates an interesting question. Either he would have had to have some sort of surrogate mother, or anatomy works entirely differently in the theory. Of course, I guess if you're a parent and your child's watching the show, I mean, I'm not going to say it's in your face or preachy, but it is there. Like, it is there if that's something.
I also find it interesting that they know that Bo has, 12 older brothers. And I just kind of wonder if they're going to come in at all. That was kind of a side there, but I was just wondering.
And also, I guess Natasha and Spinnerella, who are both princesses, they're sort of implied to be, a lesbian couple. Of course, stated earlier, Scorpio has a pretty obvious crush on Catra, but other than that, it's not really all that in your face.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder that those princesses aren't really in the series either, so I don't know if we'll see them later. So, I mean, maybe they're building up to more of a LGBT gay feel. Yeah, you see them several times, but they're not like main characters. They're kind of like your good friend Kyle, who has 5 lines. They're like the Kyle of the princesses. So I don't know if they're going to stay that way and be just be the Princess Kyles, or if we're going to see character development there.
All right, next question. How do you think the next season is going to play out?
Well, I don't know. Is there going to be more LGBT? Don't know. Is Entrapta and Hordak going to make it? I don't know. Is the planet going to get destroyed by the more evil bad guys coming? Don't know. It's a mystery. Will Kyle get more lines? Now that's probably. Will Seahawk ever get with Mermaidia? Probably not. I don't see that happening. Will Catra ever stop being a huge jerk to Scorpia? We can only hope. Gosh, she needs to take a chill pill. But as far as anything solid, I'm not making too many predictions here.
All right, so I have a pretty good, I'm not going to say pretty good idea of where they're going with it, but I have a general idea. Personally, I think they might have wrote themselves into a corner here. So at the very last moment of Season 3, we see Horde Prime about to invade. So, I mean, pretty much the regular Horde is going to have no choice but to team up with the Princess Alliance to fight Horde Prime. I mean, I'm not sure if there's anywhere else they can go with this. And considering how they don't really kill off characters, I'm pretty sure that everybody in the Horde is going to get a redemption arc. So, I mean,
that's what you think is going to happen. But again, when the series first started, you're like, oh, princesses are going to beat the Horde and that's going to be cool. Oh yeah. And then you're like, what the crap? Why are we opening portals? And what is this desert wasteland? And why do they not have stars in this universe? What's going on? I
guess that's there could always be a few additional plot twists, depending on how much longer how many more seasons the show's going to play out. Last question: are there any other things you would like to point out?
Not really. Kyle is awesome. The bad guys are awesome. The series is really good. That's about all I have to say.
Yeah, I'd have to say this series is pretty good. I think if you are an Avatar fan, you would probably like this, unless you're one of those hardcore nitpicky people who thinks it's like a blatant ripoff or something. I'm not sure if let's say you're a fan of the original She-Ra, how much you would like this, because this is a fairly pretty much I'd say maybe almost completely different in sort of tone and like structure. But I think that about wraps it up. Thanks for tuning in. We can't wait to watch and discuss season 4. Good day and God bless.